Today is the last day the House and Senate meet for the next 5 weeks, and it appears lawmakers will leave for their August recess without giving an answer to the president on offshore drilling. Earlier this week, President Bush called on Congress to lift a long-standing ban on drilling in the U.S. outer continental shelf.
Legislation to open up this offshore exploration is pending in both the House and the Senate, and all the Democratic leaders have to do is to allow a vote.
Well, that vote has not happened, and Republicans are hoping the Democrats who run Congress will pay a political price. Those Democrats appear just as confident voters will hammer Republicans for blocking votes on developing alternative energy sources. NPR's David Wellner reports on the energy showdown on Capitol Hill.
After weeks of wrangling over what to do about $4 a gallon gasoline, both sides in the debate appear exhausted. But Texas Republican Senator John Cornyn vowed yesterday he and other allies of President Bush would keep pressing to open up the 85% of the outer continental shelf that remains closed to oil drilling.
Because on this side of the aisle, we believe that we should not leave here. We should not adjourn for the August recess without addressing this pressing issue.
The problem, as the Senate's number 2 Republican John Kyle pointed out, comes down to this.
Republicans want more offshore drilling. Democrats do not.
So even though nobody expected Senate Democrats to say yes, Minority Leader Mitch McConnell made one last stab at getting the vote President Bush had asked for.
I would ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of a Senate bill to address drilling in the outer continental shelf.
When Colorado Democrat Ken Salazar objected, McConnell proposed lifting the drilling ban only if gas prices hit $10 a gallon. Salazar still objected.
No matter how you cut it, the Department of Energy and the Energy Information Administration has said we're not going to be producing anything out there for 7 to 10 years. And so it's not going to have an impact on gasoline now. So that really raises the question, what's the real motivation of these amendments and these agendas on the Republican side? And it really is a stalling tactic to keep gas on the minds of people through the month of August so that they play it for their own political advantage.
And Dick Durbin, the Senate's number 2 Democrat, pointed out that the Republicans' push for more drilling came on the same day that U.S. oil companies announced another quarter of record-breaking multi-billion-dollar profits, and their executives have contributed far more to Republicans than they have to Democrats.
The real reason behind the position on the Republican side, this is the oil companies' agenda. This is the oil companies' answer. Keep drilling. Give us more land. Give us more options. Let us put these in our portfolio. The same oil companies that are reporting not just record-breaking profits for oil companies, but record-breaking profits for American businesses.
And that's not a bad thing, argued New Hampshire Republican Judd Gregg.
Yes, the oil companies are making some big profits. They're spending it to look for oil also. When they're not spending it to look for oil, they're actually paying some dividends. And who gets those dividends? Well, if they're American companies, I suspect they're Americans.
Democrats say they'll keep pushing for alternative energy, which they say is the future, and for passage of a bill putting curbs on speculation in oil futures. But their leader, Harry Reid, said that won't happen until after the summer recess.
Because the Republicans, the speculation thing is over until the fall.
While the two sides argued, oil prices fell several dollars a barrel on world markets on concerns that demand for high-priced petroleum is now falling. David Wellner, NPR News, the Capitol.
Hey, here's the big news. Gas costs you a lot, and before they settled anything, they went on vacation. We're talking about the members of Congress. And interestingly enough, in the past week, the Senate Minority Leader, Mitch McConnell, has been offering, asking for a measure to allow drilling in the outer continental shelf if, for instance, the price of oil or gas hits a certain trigger point. So in other words, okay, right now it's about $3.50, $4 a gallon. And then he asked the entire Senate, okay, what if the trigger points hit this, or hits that, or hits that? Well, here's a little back and forth between Senator McConnell and Senator Salazar of Colorado. See if the Democrats are willing to go along with that.
I renew my consent request with the following modification: that the enactment date, which triggers the implementation of the amendment, would occur when the price of gasoline reaches $7.50 a gallon.
Is there objection?
I object.
So, Mr. President, I would renew my request with the modification that the trigger be $10 a gallon at the pump.
Is there objection?
I object.
Okay.
What the
So
heck?
basically, Senator Salazar, who you hear there, Democrat from Colorado, is basically saying no drilling, no offshore drilling. It doesn't matter if it's $10 a gallon. It doesn't matter if it's $7.50. He started it at $4.50 a gallon. That's what I paid yesterday. I was in Connecticut. It's $4.50. That was for regular.
Well, that's what I'm paying. $4.40.
$4.50.
Yeah.
$4.43 is what it actually was. So that's gone. That's come and gone. The $4.50. So he kept ratcheting it up, and as you kept hearing, Senator Salazar kept saying, "I object. I object."
I'll tell you what we just saw. And this we should point out, this YouTube is being sent around by some Republicans in the Senate just to show that the Democrats did not want to provide any relief, even if the cost of a gallon of gas hit $10. And Salazar was moderating, and then that other senator said, no, we're not going to go along with this.
Well, she wants to save the planet. She's got a book out now that no one's reading or buying because no one cares. But she has a book out now that says she wants to save the Earth.
It's number 1,000 on Amazon right now.
You're right. So 4 people care. So it's basically the Speaker of the House won't even hear of it. But here's the thing that's maddening, because this will actually pass. They will be drilling. They will give the states the rights to start drilling off the coast, provide those tax dollars in, provide those communities with an influx of cash, and they will pass right now, but they won't. The leadership won't bring it to the floor.
Are you saying, Brian Kilmeade, that there are a lot of Democrats in the House and the Senate who would vote with the Republicans to pass it if Harry Reid and also Nancy Pelosi brought it up?
It's no doubt about it, because even Senator Byrd said it, and you've seen even Dick Durbin has said, you know what, maybe it's time. And anyone who says I'm concerned about being labeled a flip-flopper, during crisis times you got to make decisions.
McCain changed his mind.
Right, and next I'm sure it'll be Anwar, because John Boehner just got back from there. There's nobody.